If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of Windmill Slam, where unfortunately it is just me again, for reasons I will get into shortly, before I make a pick on this MTGO Academy draft. Now, unfortunately, all of the best cards in this pack are 3-color gold cards, and they are Armament Core, Bear's Companion, Snowhorn Rider, and Feat of Resistance kind of gives them a run for their money. Out of these three, I feel like the most powerful is probably Armament Core, shortly followed by Bear's Companion, and then a good little bit behind that is Snowhorn Rider. Feat of Resistance is a very powerful card. Question is, do we want to just pick the strongest card, Armament Core, or pick like the more reasonable card that can go into 3 clans? I'm going to pick Armament Core. It's reasonably splashable if you're in Sultai or Mardu or whatever. Maybe we'll just end up in 5 colors. But I'm happy enough to pick it up first and follow it up with Tuskguard Captain or Abzan Guide. That's actually pretty close. The thing about these 3-mana 2/3s is they're very efficient. They're fantastic for blocking morphs. Works super well with the Armament Core, giving other stuff trample, which is far from irrelevant. There's also a Blossoming Sands in the pack, a Swarm of Bloodflies, Longshot Squad, Ride of the Serpent's not amazing, but it's definitely takeable. Alpine Grizzly, all actually pretty fine cards. Now it's between Tuskguard Captain and Abzan Guide for me. I think I'm going to stick with the Abzan Guide, but it's pretty close, to be perfectly honest. This might be a little better, but I think I prefer the Abzan Guide. So anyway, Ushin isn't here. Everything's fine with Windmill Slam. I realise this is now the second MTGO Academy video where Ushin isn't here. It's just a scheduling conflict, really. It's almost entirely my fault because I am spending 5 out of 7 days of the week on the other side of the country, which is what's brought this about. Abzan seems pretty open in this direction. This, and this are all fantastic. Second Abzan Guard is obviously fantastic. Jungle Hollow also here. Do I like Chief of the Scale or Mardu Horde Chief better? I think I like Chief of the Scale. Oh, Secret of the Way is just one of the best 2-drops in the set, though. These are all pretty defensible picks, I think. I think Mardu Horde Chief is a little bit behind these 3. I've never been upset because I had too many Abzan Guides in my deck. That hasn't happened to me. I don't get to play with Secret of the Way very often, though. It's Secret of the Way or Abzan Guide for me, and I actually don't really... I'm going to take the Secret of the Way. Ding. Snowhorn Rider, Salt Road Patrol, Team Ascendancy, Windsor Crack, but we're snapping up the Citadel. Abzan seems wide open in this direction. Loxodon or Mandrills here. I like Loxodon a lot. I like Mandrills a fair bit too, though. I think they're pretty comparable cards. I'm going to take the Loxodon in this case and be pretty happy about it. That pack was a little... There was a Salt Road Patrol there, which is actually still pretty good, to be honest. Now, do we want the Longshot Squad or Awaken the Bear? I'm a huge fan of Awaken the Bear. I think it's really, really good. All 4 of our picks so far have been creatures, so that makes me lean towards Awaken the Bear a little bit. Longshot Squad does work well with the Armament Core in that, you know, we can incidentally give stuff reach, but that's probably the least relevant of the +1/+1 counter lords that there is. So I'm going to take the Awaken the Bear there, I think. I'm going to take the Awaken the Bear over the actual Hound Archers, I think. Ugh, no, I should take in the Hounds. I guess I'll take another Awaken the Bear. I don't like Rakshas's Secret too much. Ride of the Serpent, as I said, is playable, but not what you want to be doing. And I'll run 2 Awaken the Bear. I'm not super excited about it, but I'll definitely run them. Let's move these down to the 3-drop slot. Let's move you up to the 5-drop slot. If my voice sounds a little bit different, it's because I'm very, 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 very ill as well. So if I collapse midway through the draft and there's just a loud clanging as my coffee mug rolls and shatters to the floor, I'll be impressed that I managed to still edit and upload the video, but you know, just be aware that that's a distinct possibility. That Soundstep Citadel is a nice pickup. I'm really happy with that. So Abzan seems pretty open in this direction. God. I'll just take the Blossoming Sands here over the 3rd one. That is a late Snowhorn Rider, which is absolutely worth noting. But I don't see any real reason to start pushing into 4 colors. We've got 2 pretty powerful Abzan cards here. so far. And like, this is really annoying. How did that work? There we go. And like, the Blossoming Sands is totally fine to pick up, what was that, 8th pick, you know? So that's actually okay. Now, what was in our first pack that we could have wheeled? It was either gold cards, wasn't it? It was that Snowhorn Rider, who's still here. I'm going to take the Snowhorn Rider at this point, I think, rather than the Sagu Archer, just in case we can get pushed back out into Teamer, because that is like 3 of those that have gone very late now. And he's not amazing, but he's a pretty good card. I put him right up on par with Abzangad, I think. I like Abzangad a little better, but, you know, it's pretty close between the two of them. I put Efreet Weapon Master maybe a little bit below that. And then I'd put Ponyback Brigade. I'd put Ponyback Brigade and... what's the other one? Abomination of Gadul are both right around together at the bottom. I say at the bottom, like Abomination of Gadul and Ponyback Brigade are not much worse than Abzangad. Like the actual distance between the best one and the worst of the 5 mana cost morph cycle, the difference between the best and the worst one is pretty small, but I think Abzangad is probably the best one. If Abzangad and Free Weapon Master and the Snowhorn Rider are all pretty on par, and then I definitely put the other two a better notch below them, but it's a small notch, to be honest. So now we're just looking for stuff, really, in these colors. Like, Teamer seems pretty open, but Abzan seems pretty open at the beginning of the pack. Taking signals at the beginning of the pack can be risky because you don't know what they open. Like, sure, that guy can pass us. Pass you an Armor Core. In this case, we opened it, but they can pass you an Armor Core or whatever. But maybe he opened a Wigmate Rock, you know? Or maybe he just opened Anafenza or whatever. We continued to get pretty solid Abzan cards throughout the pack, though, including the Sandstep Citadel. The late Snowhorn Riders. Maybe people don't like that card as much as I do. I like it quite a bit. Ooh, I guess I'll pick up a secret now. It's not unplayable. Like, if we get a dead drop or something like that, I'll happily put it in just to help fuel that a little bit. Completely forgot this card even existed. Never attack skills 1 times. That's what I thought. Such a weird card. Okay. Tower Shell, not really what we're looking for. Cards worth noting here is that another freaking Snowhorn Rider, but it's Necropolis Fiend. Tower Shell's pretty solid. Like, it's just a little clunky. Necropolis Fiend, Suspension Field, there's the Blossoming Sands, and the Savage Punch. I'm probably just gonna take the Necropolis Fiend, to be honest. It's just a 4/5 flyer. It's a reason to put this Rakshasa Secret in. Helps that a little bit. Scavenger's there too, but like Necropolis Fiend, it's pretty close to just bomb status. I don't know how many times I've ever actually used its ability. I tend to just be like, here's a 4/5 flyer, beat this now. So it costs 9 natively, so probably gonna cast it for like 6 or 7. There's an Abzan charm. One of the better charms. Einok Bonkin and Ruth, I would be a big fan of having in my deck as well. Feat of Resistance too, but I'm going to take the Abzan charm. It's very good removal, nice creature pumping. Card draw if you need it. It's just a super solid card. If only. Chief Age is really good. But if only we were in Sultai. Like, we could totally splash this. But our deck is actually looking pretty middle, like mid-range, sort of a little more aggressive rather than super grindy. With like these Awaken the Bears and like the Seek of the Wind, the Armament Core. It's like a mid-range sort of value deck. And I think I'd rather have the Chief of the Edge in there. Mardu Horde Chief I wouldn't mind either, to be honest. I'm going to take this Chief of the Edge though. Hiya. There's a Throttle. And a Savage Punch. I'm going to take the Savage Punch. Savage Punch super good with the Seeker of the Way. If you have something else that has 4 power. Or if you got buffed by the Chief of the Edge, that works. Take the Savage Punch here over the Throttle. Tammany Hordemate. Alpine Grizzly, Highland Game, Alabaster Kieran. A lot of good stuff here. Unyielding Krumar. I think I might take the Hordemate. These are both pretty good cards to get back. A 4 mana 3/2 isn't embarrassing anyway. 4 mana 2/3 flyer is pretty good. Actually very good with the Abzan Charm and the Armament Core if you can make it into a 4/5 flyer. That might just be better. You know, if you put both the counters on it from this or the counters on it from this, it gets pretty impressive. A 4/5 Flying Vigilance is tough to deal with. Might be a little better than the Horde Mate for the deck we've got going so far. Now here, do we want the Highland Game or the Krumar? I like Highland Game a lot. I like Krumar a fair bit. It is a warrior, which means it gets pumped by this Chief of the Edge. Not a huge deal. Oh, sorry. Yeah, not a huge deal between those two. I guess I like the Highland Game. Here, I'll take the Krumar Bonkin. Not amazing, but totally fine. It's a warrior, it's a morph, all fine. Sultai seems, all of the decks seem to be open now because Abzan was like pretty okay that pack. But that's a very late. I suppose Sultai Charm is probably one of the less impressive charms. I'll take a Smoke Tower though, it's just a bear. Totally fine. Not super excited about this deck so far. Like, the Abzan Charm's real nice. What did we first pick? The Necropolis Fiend, that's also pretty good. It's just not insane. Like, we have a whole other pack to, you know, really make it have a little bit of punch. I would have liked that Suspension Field, but I think the Necropolis Fiend is a nice big threat for us there. I could run this Tower Shell. I wouldn't be too excited about it, to be honest. I think I'm going to put it in the board for now. It's a fantastic blocker, and if our deck was a little grindier or slower, I'd be more excited about it, but it doesn't really seem to be the case. Like with these Awaken the Bears, the Savage Punch. Like, there's totally the curve where we go 2-drop, you know, Seeker of the Way or Chief of the Edge, attack with it into their 2-drop, they go block, we Awaken the Bears. And like, at that point, you traded this card for their card on the board, which is beneficial to you. You didn't really develop your board, which is a bit of a setback, but depending on what you used it on, you either hit them for a ton or hit them for a ton and also gained a pretty hardy chunk of life. Late Pony back. There's a sweet 5-color deck going around here. This is a weird draft, I'll be honest. I probably should have just been 5-color now. Oh, you're playable. Not a warrior, a sentinel or something, aren't you? Golem. Definitely playable though. Definitely a fine card. 5-drop might be a little bit ambitious for the Necropolis. I'll put him at 6. Did something sneak in there? Because I thought I cut the tag I'm scheming, then I cut something else, it would seem. No, we're okay. So yeah, not crazy about the deck so far, but pretty happy with it. It seems pretty middling, pretty solid. Huh. Alrighty. Foil Siren seems pretty good. Won't lie. That's must be nice. That's a nice pickup. Ooh, yay! I'm just gonna take this. Almost doesn't matter what else is in the pack because that's probably worth quite a lot of money. Kintry Invocation here. Probably, to be honest. Don't have a ton of high toughness stuff. Although we can Awaken the Bear in Kintry, which is pretty nice. So I'm actually going to take it. There is the Raider spoils now. How many warriors do we have? We have the Chief of the Edge, the Seeker of the Way, Bonkin, and the Guide. It's not really enough. I think Kintry has enough, a little more synergy with us. Like, this thing's playable as a 3-2. If you're not in the Warriors deck, though, I think the 2-3 is a little better just because it blocks morphs and survives. Here, probably want the Bonkin over this Roar of the Challenge, I think. Between the Abzan Charm, the Armament Core. Not between, but with those two, we can knock around enough +1/+1 counters at instant speed with this to make it some real blowouts going with. So I'm going to pick them up. Super solid card overall, anyway, to be honest. Let's see how much Foil Siren's going for on Magic Online. Just going to head over to... what do we want here? Not a ton for us here. Seems like a reasonable place to pick up a Jungle Hollow. I'm really glad that was in the pack, because without that, that pack is just really bad for us. So let's snap that up. That means I'm pretty happy with fixing, to be honest. With 2 dual lands and our full 3-color tri-land, we should be mostly okay. 1 more dual land and I'd be very happy, but as it sits, I'm pretty okay with our mana situation. This Siren I better get there now. I'm going to be disappointed. So Sauron Solemn Visitor foil online is going for 22 tickets, 21 tickets. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good pickup. Not sad about that at all. Don't have a ton of like synergy with them in terms of like tokens or anything, which is where it really shines with the whole +1/+1 lifelink. Now, Bloodsucker Power. Get debilitating injury in my deck, please. It's a late debilitating injury. That's a very good card. Don't really have a ton of removal. Oh, Speak of the Devil. Second Abzan Charm. Yes, please. I like a Bitter Revelation, but Abzan Charm can do a similar thing with the card draw. Is much more versatile. And is great. Better now that we picked up an Anak Bonkin. That's I'm very happy to see that. Awesome. Mandrills is pretty much exactly what I want at this point, I think. Get him in there. Probably a 5-drop. I guess the Witness of the Ages don't really want it. So it says we have 13 creatures. We actually have 14 because of this Skin Tree Invocation, assuming we can cast it. Sauron makes creatures too, which is worth noting. Whoops. I thought that was a charm that I was taking out. So now our deck has gotten a lot better, I think. I'd love another Abzan Guide, to be honest. That'd be the dream. I don't think I really want any of these cards. I'll take the Ride of the Serpent in case we come up against something we can't kill otherwise. But yeah, between our Abzan Guide, our Double Charm, our Armament Core, our Foil Sauron, our Necropolis Fiend, and our Kin Tree Invocation, like all of our gold cards are very powerful. Got some nice combat tricks. Little bit low on removal. All we have is this Debilitating Injury and these 2 Abzan Charms. And I guess this Savage Punch, so it's not that bad actually. It's actually pretty okay. Got a lot of early drops. It just seems like a pretty reasonable, very solid limited deck that happens to have like a Planeswalker in it, which is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. What would we really want to see? I'd love another Alabaster Kieran, like something else to go in that 4-drop slot. I'd love to upgrade that Witness of the Ages into an Abzan Guide. Hooting Mandrills, that's a great pickup. Get in. Take this Hooting Mandrills. Probably not going to cast them both as a 5-drop. With stuff to do with our mana quite late, I think we'll be okay with 18 lands. So I'm going to cut potentially one of these Awaken the Bears. Potentially this Witness of the Ages. Probably this Witness of the Ages. Because we've got a lot of 2-drops, so getting something that just down on the board as early isn't as important. Now with double Abzan Charm and the Armament Core, we can really beef up that Alabaster Kieran. We have a good chance of making it a 4/5. The reason I'm leaving in the Awaken the Bears is because we have stuff like the Abzan Guide and the Seeker of the Way, which can get us really far ahead. In that way, I think I like the Bumpkin just the tiniest little bit better than the Witness of the Ages. Nah, that seems pretty reasonable. Nice little curve. A little bit of a slope more than a curve, really. Doesn't really bulge out in the middle enough, but like, remember that we could be casting our Awaken the Bears on turns 3 and 4, 4 and 5. Our Abzan Charms could be dealing with stuff there as well. We have Kin Tree Invocation, will probably come in around there, or here maybe. Debilitating Injury can easily come down on turn 3. Savage Punch could easily be a turn 4 or 5 play. I think that's just fine. In terms of fixing, we have a Sands, we have a Jungle Hollow, and we have a Sandstep Citadel, which I'm very happy about. That puts us once, it gives us 18 lands, that's right. Let's see what Modo suggests. 5/5/5. We do actually seem pretty evenly split. We're a little bit lighter on black. That gives us 7 black sources, it gives us 8 green sources, and it gives us 7 white sources. Which seems about right, to be honest. I don't see much of a reason to change any of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black for the very late Necropolis scene. That's probably fine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. This deck turned out pretty well. Hopefully we don't just scrub out round 1.
Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any MTGOacademy.com page.
This hand's not amazing, but it's certainly fine. Here in round 1, seems okay. We've got a morph, we've got something to keep him off our backs, we've got all 3 of our colours, we can eventually maybe do something nice with this. It's not ridiculously good, but I think it's better than the average 6, especially noting the fact that it's got all 3 of our colours. It's got a good mix of lands and spells. We can't really take advantage of the Kindred Invocation yet. That's going to let us take advantage of the Kindred Invocation at some point. Unfortunately, not till at least turn 7, really, but you know, not so bad. Fantastic draw. Lets us play a 2-drop. Lets us then debilitating injury his thing, or more for a Woolly Lockstone, depending on whatever he does. All 3 colours naturally, must be nice. We had to work for ours. Oh, we got him naturally anyway. I am probably just going to debilitating injury that. I have Tracker. Oh, it's disappointing. It's not a great card. But, you know, getting it out of the way, getting in with our Bonkin doesn't seem too terrible. Might have been better to morph that turn, then this turn we could debilitating injury and play our Woolly Loxodon. Just going to play the Loxodon now and say go. We have a lot of synergy with that Bonkin in our deck, so I don't really want to just trade it off for whatever that random morph is. If we hit a swamp next turn, we can just play our Bonkin as a 5/3. Might be worth it. In this case, like with this in mind, I'm kind of glad we got rid of the 3/3 first strike. That's probably the only matchup of morphs where that guy's really good. Oh, that's a miserable Arc Lightning. If we had a swamp though, we can just cast our Necropolis Fiend now, I think. No, not quite. Not quite. That sucked. Whoops. Oh, now we know we have something. Was it misclick? That was a ridiculously good Arc Lightning. We need to know how to play around that next game, but that's pretty rough. 5 mana, so if this is a Snowhorn Rider, I'm afraid it's getting in. Okay. Okay. Second Arc Lightning, okay. Good to know. God. Swamp, Savage Punch, that's miserable. Can't do anything, so go. All we can do is... I suppose we could draw cards with this, actually. I'm going to wait to see what these morphs are. Like, if one of them's a Snowhorn Rider or something, I'm going to have to do something about it. So... Canyon Lurkers, same deal. I can't be taking that hit, so I think I need to do that and hope I hit a swamp. Gah! Swamp, please, the swamps. I can make a 0/0. As much as people are just going to kill me here now. Nope. Remember, we're actually only on 3. Yeah. There you go. Let's exile all of these so that we can Savage Punch in the same turn, because I think we have to do that. You know, if he's got the counter spell or whatever, why won't you delve? Oh, it doesn't like that now. That's weird. 1, 2. Pretty confident this will beat this thing in a fight if I just Savage Punch it. If you got a Force Away or something, we just lose. Yeah, we just lose. What was it? Dragon's Eye Savants. So we were dead anyway. He just hits us for 4 and then blows that thing up. He just had all the cards he needed in that game to beat us. That's fine. That happens sometimes. We don't really have any sideboard options. We have a Witness of the Age which we can bring in over like the Arc Lightning makes me want to bring out some of the X ones, but the only X ones we have are like Arnak Bonkin and a Highland Game. Highland Game has additional value if he kills it, so it's not the end of the world, and Arnak Bonkin's too good to take out, so perfect, all natural colours. No real gas in terms of creatures or anything like that, but we can draw into it with Abzan Charm. Fill up our graveyard a little bit, get the Rakshasa Secret off if we don't hit anything, and then eventually just Armament Core. Gas. No, alright, we're probably going to Abzan Charm on his end step here then. I'm just going to do it now. Cool. Excellent. Yep. Please don't Arc Lightning this. Nope. Okay. I'm probably just going to flip this up this turn for fear of Arc Lightning. I want to get the Lifelinker down because it makes our Savage Punch and our Awaken the Bear super good. What we're going to do next turn is we're probably going to Savage Punch this Morph. Maybe he'll have flipped it up, maybe he won't have. And then when he tries to block, or I suppose obviously not going to block now, but if he tries to sack to kill or anything like that. Oh, see, now I'm scared of his Force Away. So I'm going to attack first and see what happens. Crippling Chill. Okay, it's not so bad. Spread out our threats a little bit. Let's just make a 6/6. Or do I make 2 5/5s? Let's just make a 6/6. Okay, lost confidence in what I think is a Canyon Lurkers now. God, really? Ridiculous. We have the potential to go crazy next turn. So I'm going to just play this Loxodon. Hopefully that'll draw his attention a little bit. And then next turn, I believe we can Savage Punch, Awaken the Bear, and then Kintry Invocation to make a... I'm going to do it with my Abzan guy because that way we gain 1,000,000 life. But that will make us make an absurdly large... Let us make an absurdly large creature. If I did it with this, it could be slightly bigger, but the last thing's more... Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Savage Punch here. Now the question is, do I Awaken the Bear in response to gain more life, or try to get him to trade his Morph? I'm probably going to try to get him to trade his Morph. Alright, so let's just do that. This is beautiful. Block with your morph, you have to. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. Mm. 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 Just for the rub-ins, it's really put the screws to him. This is probably safer. Maybe it's just safer to Rakshasa Secret him than Kintry Invocation. He's not in white though, so he couldn't have the Doom Blast or anything. Oops, that should be for green. Yeah, just make something absurd again. Make a 9/9. Say go. What now? I guess Water Whirl would save him a little bit. Like, he had enough cards in hand there that Rakshasa, like, if he has a way to survive here, he's gonna do it, so. Might as well do this now. Might as well do it afterwards, I guess, in case he's gonna spend this mana on something. Snowhorn Rider, okay. So he's got something. And an Arc Lightning. I think he's got the Force Away here for the Spirit Warrior. But that means the other two are just chump blocks, so that's fine, really. Yeah, like now he has to chump both of these. That's not great. I go to 31. He has 2 cards in hand, and I have 2 lethal creatures. But yeah, I definitely should have waited till post-combat to do the secret, I think, there. Water Whirl. Bear's Companion. That saves you a little bit, I'm not going to lie. That's a trade and a chump if I tackle both. And then I can just kill him with that, yeah. Let's make him trade and chump. Cool. One, 4. Go the whole way. So we have more stuff in our bin. 9. This way, even if he plays some crazy blocks, some blockers, I can remove them. He has to play flying blockers as well. Yeah, okay, we got there. That time. His deck's very scary. I'm very scared of it. These Armored Core and using these Abzan Shams. Savage Punch is really awkward against him. We just need to find a window to resolve it like we did in that game. Otherwise, they're going to get us with, like, that Force Away or something. His deck's very, very tricky. It's the scariest kind of deck to play against. This hand's fine. It's missing green, but it's got a 2-drop and a 3-drop. Pretty aggressive ones too. Not what we want to see swamp there, to be honest, but that's okay. This is almost certainly going to have to trade for Morph unless we hit a forest. Jungle Hollow's a little awkward. We'll see what he plays. I wish we drew that last turn, because then we could have come in, done the play I talked about during deck building, where we come in here with the Awaken the Bear. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. If he's behind, I think I'm going to try to develop my board instead. Him missing his land drop there is a real blessing. Do it again, please. Totally fine. I'm going to play the Kieran. Next turn, if he tries to block the Morph with the Savants, it actually will kill him. Kill it when we flip it up, and he concedes. Alright, so we kept the 2-lander on the draw there. I think he might have mulliganed to 6, but we got there. Had some really sick plays in game 2 that were kind of high variance, but he was tapped out, I think, when we did most of them, so we managed to really, really get him there. When we Savage Punched his guy, and then he blocked, and we Awakened the Bear, and then we made a 9/9, and he almost came back from it with his Bear's Companion and his Force Away and stuff, but we managed to close out the game, and our opponent got a little bit unlucky in game 3, which happens. Let's hope it happens again in round 2.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than one event ticket.
Okay, round 2. We have won the die roll. What would you like to play first? Yes, please. All colors. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a pretty good hand. I'll keep that. We're getting fiercely lucky today. Not sure if our opponent's actually turned up yet. Hand's not amazing. Again, problem with the Kindred Invocations that you can't just cast it as a 2-drop because it'll die. We have time to draw things though. We can kill his first probably morph. Oh, sorry. Using our debilitating injury, which is just what makes it such a good card. It's going to buy us quite a bit more time than this hand would, say, if this was just like another forest or something. All 3 natural lands is obviously wonderful. I have to play a swamp or a plains first in case we draw our Chief of the Edge. It's always important to note whether you have 2-color gold cards in your deck like that that require special mana. Alright, still nothing, but we just get to drop the Kieran next turn, which is fine. Morph. Called it. Alright, let's dump the Kieran. Great draw here would be Awaken the Bear, because then we get to smash with Awaken the Bear and Kindred Invocation to make a 5/5. Aggressive Crippling Shield, that's okay. That's a very good draw as well, because we get to go boom, boom. Glacial Stalker, okay, glad to get rid of that. No sign of a 3rd color from our opponent. We can assume it either doesn't exist or is red based on this. He could be 5-color, but I don't think he'd be running this many basics if he was 5-color. He'd have to be very unlucky. So I'm going to assume he's either straight green-blue or he's Teamer. Okay. Okay. Attack with our Kieran and probably just play the Mandrels here. No need to. If we had an additional card in the graveyard, I could consider playing the Mandrels because that would, with the Delve, but because that would let us play the Invocation as well. But as it sits, I'd rather just save it for casting our Necropolis Fiend and using its ability and stuff. Again, now our Awaken the Bear or something that would pump our Mandrels would be a fantastic draw. Like Awaken the Bear here would let us attack, potentially get the 2-for-1 if you were to double block, depending on what his morph is, I guess. We could let us attack, Awaken the Bear, and then make a 7/7 with our Kindred Invocation. As it says, our Kindred Invocation was going to be a 4/4, totally fine. Not at all disappointed about that, but like if we draw a Savage Punch or Awaken the Bear or an Armament Core or an Abzan Charm or something, I'd much rather go a little bigger with it. Ooh, aren't you a lovely little card? This counts toughness, right? Yeah. I'm scared of this. In these colors is probably another Glacial Stalker or something uncommon like an Ice Feather Raven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Siren. Plus him. He could get countered here. Opponent passes with 5 cards in hand. If they're off red, it could be possible that they're just stuck a little bit, or if they want to flip this. He didn't play a land last turn, so. Okay, it's plus Siren. And he concedes. Alright, it was a Teamer Charger. Siren's that scary. Cool. Again, we don't really have enough cards here to sideboard. The only thing to consider would be this Rite of the Serpent or either of these Witness of the Ages. I don't see a reason to bring either of those in. So I think we'll just run it back. Nothing for the Naturalize. I don't see anything in the format really for Naturalize, to be honest. There's no really scary artifacts or enchantments. Good hand. Very good hand. Soundstep Citadel really saves it. Needs a few more lands, but assuming we draw some of them, and we have plays until then. Assuming we draw like maybe another 2 or 3 lands in the course of the next couple of turns, this hand is very strong. If we draw an untapped land, we get to do the play I was talking about with Awaken the Bear. Beautiful. Where you run your 2-drop into their morph and Awaken the Bear. And you don't really lose the tempo because you hit them for so much damage with it. So if this is a morph, it's probably what we're going to do. If he doesn't block, Like, I don't see why he would block, but assuming he doesn't block, we just dump the Abzan Guide. Face down, turn after that, play Sauron. Assuming we hit the land. If we hit another land, then turn after that, play Armament Core. We get debilitating injury at some point in there. The fact that our opponent's thinking this much means he doesn't... Wow. Wow. That's so tilty. He missed his third land because he kept a 2-lander and then just concedes. God, I mean, it sucks for you guys because you get less video content. It's great for me because I get to the finals of this 8-4 for, you know, slightly free. But that's, I think, like, if your hand's that bad, if it misses its land, you shouldn't have kept it. You know, if you take a look at a 7-card hand, like, he did keep 7, didn't he? I don't think he mulliganed. Yeah, he kept 7 cards with presumably 1 or 2 lands. If he kept 1 land hand, that's probably just incorrect. Let's assume he kept the 2 land hand. If your 7-card hand can't survive at all by missing your 1 land drop, even for a single turn, because it was just turn 3, he only missed 1 land drop, and all he was facing down was a Highland game. Like, it's hardly, you know, ridiculous. We did happen to have a ridiculous hand, but he didn't know that. I think that was an extremely premature concession and very tilty of him. You shouldn't do that. Anyway, means we get to go to the finals, which is great. It does mean you get an extremely short video here, so I'm sorry about that. But see you in the final round.
Love playing Standard on Magic Online? Check out Academy's Standard Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds for Standard Singles.
Final round. Fight! I would love to play first, thank you very much. Hopefully we get a real game this time. All 3 colours naturally again. Seems pretty fantastic. We're getting pretty good at that. I'm not going to complain. Again, I'm going to play one of these first, just in case we draw our Chief of the Edge. In this case, we probably would want to run the Chief of the Edge out first, pressure him a little harder. If it transpires that we don't have good attacks with the Chief of the Edge, assuming we draw it, we might want to hold on to it a little later for when we flip up our Abzan Guide, because then it gives our Abzan Guide an additional power, which means we gain more life. Like, this is all contingent on us drawing the Chief of the Edge, which is extremely unlikely. It's a 1 in 33 shot, but it's good to think about this kind of thing while your opponent's deciding, because it can come up. These sort of things can matter, like that 1 point of life either way if we play the forest first could absolutely be important. Whoa, whoa, listen to the music. Come on. It's approaching pause in the recording territory here. Did he chat me or something? Nope. Is he online? Yep. He rolled a 6 or I rolled a 1. That means we have to win the game. Those are the rules. Alright, I'm going to pause here and we'll come back when our opponent returns. He returned literally the second I clicked the pause button, which is extremely frustrating, but sure, look, that's fine. Planes, go. I like our deck a lot. We've had some strange games with it so far, but I really am a big fan of it. Okay, forest. Boop, boop, boop. Go. Next turn, presumably play the Abzan Guide. If we don't draw any gas, I'll guess we'll fire off the Rakshasa Secret at some point. Don't really like to do it when your opponent has too many cards in hand. You really want to get the last 2, or like the last 2 or out of 3 out of their hand with it. Good draw. Do we run out our slightly worse morph here? In case he has a thing. We probably do. Let's run out our slightly worse morph. The other thing is I will happily attack with that morph next turn into his morph, whereas I would not very happily attack with the Abzan Guide, even though we'll have mana up, so blocking for him wouldn't be a great idea anyway. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I'll make this trade. I don't really care about this thing too much. Yep, cool, awesome. Totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah. What do you reveal? I wasn't paying attention. He has his own Rakshasa secret. Oh yeah. That's alright. If that's what he's casting next turn, we're probably just going to ditch our Rakshasa secret in this land. If that way, if we don't even if we don't draw land, we can still play the mandrels. If that's what he's doing with this turn, though, that puts us in good shape. Yep. Bye bye. Bye bye. Untapped land, please, off the top. That's going to get pretty good later. For going to have to do this, though. I want to keep the pressure on, even though it makes my fiend much more awkward. I feel like we're behind because we're so down on card advantage because of that Rakshasa secret, which is technically a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. But I feel like we're far enough ahead on board that that's just fine. I'm gonna flip up our guy now. Get in for 10. Seems pretty good. There's no way I'm not flipping this. I'm just gonna do it now. What's he got? Nothing. Got a 5. Okay. He's in rough shape here now. Yeah, I guess he's just 5 colors. These are weird combinations to have, and the fact that he had so many cards in hand and didn't do anything with them. And he milled a white card. Yeah, I think it's probably just at least 4 anyway. But possibly even 5 colors. Our deck's pretty solid and together, so I might be able to punish him for that. Hand is a little bit land heavy on the draw though, so a little bit more time to draw into gas. We have 2 morphs to play. They're both pretty good. We have all of our colors. I think I can keep it. Now that we know he has that secret, I'm going to try to get all 3 colors down as quickly as possible so they don't get stranded. Same argument as before in terms of playing a white or a black land first. Doesn't really matter which of these I play first now because I'm pretty happy to have both of them, so I don't really mind. Like, if one of them's going to die, I don't think it matters too hugely which one it is. They're both pretty powerful cards. Is that a morph, I have to assume? Yeah, it's fine. A charm. Get some card draw going? Nah, I'm just gonna morph down. I'm gonna go for the guide. Going for the guide lets me charm it next turn to make it a 4-4, and then I can flip it up to make it a 6-6 lifelink, which is very tough to deal with. Okay. Have to be aware of Ruth though. Ruth the Ruthless Ripper. Didn't play a land that turn, my opponent. I'm actually just going to play this Woolly Lockstone and say go. Frustratingly, Ruth flips for free, so... okay. That's a good draw. I'm definitely going to come in with this. And flip it up. See what he does. Alright. That's okay. If that's a Ruth, he's still going to be able to flip it up to trade for it. I don't know why he wouldn't have done that though. Which makes me think it's not a Ruthless Ripper. No, we can flip that up next turn, so I'm just going to take this actually. This could be a Ponyback Brigade. That wouldn't be unreasonable. If he tries to chomp and awaken the bear here, he'll do a lot of work. Throttle, okay, okay. Probably best to just flip this and hit him with it, to be honest. Get ahead on the race a little. Assuming this survives, we're going to be able to get in for a whole ton of damage with our bears and charms and stuff. Gonna try race us. That's fine. Are you having the flip? Nope. I'm very scared of that now. Gonna attack first and see what happens. Okay. Could we kill him here? 9. We can give +5. Yeah, we can kill him. Look, if we do it like this, I believe we just kill him. If we go, whoop. Put 2 +1 +1 counters on that like that. Puts it to 8. And then Awaken the Bear should put it to 11, which means we deal lethal damage, right? Hooray! Awesome. I mean, there's no way he could have planned for that. Like, it's probably, but it is definitely smarter to just block with 1 token than, you know, think Command House, something like that, and block with both. So we got there in the end. 3-0. Got a foil Siren. Got ourselves 8 packs and a QP. Can't be too sad. I've been Dennis. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at @Stranjack. You can follow us on YouTube at WindmillSlamMTG. YouTube.com/WindmillSlamMTG. Same name for Twitter and everything like that. We post here every second Wednesday. We post on our channel every weekend. I think Oshin did a video over there just recently with our good friend Rob while I was away. So you can head on over and check that out. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed watching me smash with this Abzan deck. And we'll see you again next time.